Yeah, well, whether it's too much caffeine, late night election results, or staying up to cheer on the Flames, many of us are not getting a proper night's sleep. So we've asked alternative medicine expert Bryce Wylde to drop by with some recommendations for improving our sleep habits. And I can hear everybody out there going, yes, please.
Right, and either waking up late, whether it was the Orange Crush or watching the Flames win last night, a lot of you are feeling that tired fatigue. It's also Occupational Health and Safety Week, and here's the deal, a lot of us do come to work, including us, tired, and that leads to health issues. We know that, that's no new news, but also safety issues. You literally hurt yourself more, and this is maybe what a lot of you don't know, getting a lack of sleep or even staying awake 17 hours straight is the equivalent of about half of the blood alcohol volume that's legal equivalent. So you're walking around kind of half drunk, you know, at the end of the day. It's not a nice thing, right?
No, it's a terrible thing, and cumulatively it can be really terrible. So help us.
Yeah, let me put you to sleep.
Okay.
So, not literally, stay awake for this. So here's the first thing. There is a really cool app out there right now that Breathe Right's put out called Sleepwise. I want you to understand your Z-score. Do you know what your Z-score is? No. Whether you're staying asleep and deeply asleep, because it's not about just how many hours you clock on the pillow. Right. It's staying in that restful delta phase sleep. So if you go to iTunes, and I'll show you how this works. You go to iTunes, there's a free app download, and you basically just download the Sleepwise app. Here's how it works. You start the snooze button, and whether you're testing you or somebody you know, you can actually test that person that's denial that they're actually snoring or they're interrupting your sleep for that matter. You record right there, and then at the end of it, after you're making sure you're plugged in, it's recording your entire night's sleep and determining whether or not, by virtue of snoring, congestion, or simply moving and waking, that you're in fact interrupting your sleep. So it's not just the 7 or 8 hours, it's making sure you're sleeping well. And of course, you probably heard me say this before, the Breathe Right strip is key. So this is like an N of 1 trial. First, you're going to record yourself regularly, then you're going to apply a strip on your nose, and this like spring-like action is what helps it to open your nose by about 38% more compared to decongestants alone. And so your nose opens up and there's more air and oxygen flow. So then you record yourself the second night, and the Sleepwise group, they'll send you a free sample of this, and you determine what's working, you know, without or with. And
so that could be the problem.
That could be the problem.
That could be the problem.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And of course, there's a bunch of herbs, lavender and hops. I like to talk about this in my recent book, Power Plants. You can use this stuff to help you lull off to sleep. We just spoke about this on off camera, rather. If it's not just the lulling off to sleep that's a problem, it's staying asleep. There's also solutions for that. So here's my recommendation. Try Deep Sleep, which is valerian and hops together. It's a product by A. Vogel, and that's over the counter at Shoppers Drug Mart, Pharma Plus, or mass retail. But if you have a problem staying asleep, pumpkin seed powder. Okay, I'm going to try this because that is my biggest problem. There's a lot of tryptophan in this stuff, right? So tryptophan helps to get you to sleep. It turns into something called melatonin at night. Right. But the problem is that regular time release factor is not there in inherent most products. This stuff here was developed by a board-certified psychiatrist, Dr. Craig Hudson, who realized compared to benzodiazepines or Imovane drugs that help to suppress that or get you to sleep, sedate you, this keeps you asleep because it's time-released tryptophan over the course of the night. I think that's a lot of people's problem, right? You wake up after 3 hours, and then you're tossing and turning for another 2. Huge problem. So there's sleep interrupters, whether it's you're antsy, you're fidgety, or you're congested. Try the Sleepwise app, download that, see what's interrupting your sleep, and then try some herbs. By the way, acupuncture has been shown to actually, in certain points, you have to talk to your naturopath or TCM practitioner about this, but specific points along the meridian energy pathways that induces sleep by up to 60% in some folks who experience insomnia. So a lot of different things to try. I want to ask you very quickly, because we're running out of time, but you do not have melatonin out here. I don't. Why? Well, listen, I think unless you get tested for it, it's a hormone. And you could be low in it. If you are, it's going to really help you get to sleep, maybe even stay asleep. But if you're not, you're messing around with bioidentical hormone therapy, essentially. And so that might actually cause you to wake up feeling really, really groggy in the morning and not really benefit you compared to those things that help to lull you to sleep. By the way, in the book, I talk about a hops and valerian pillow. This works. Just sticking hops and valerian in your pillow, literally breathing in, it's called Loopulan from hops, to lull you off to sleep. But full circle, I don't love melatonin unless you've tested yourself for it and know you're low. Okay, that's great advice. We'll have links to Bryce on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. This does smell nice. Doesn't it? I just put my head down. I'm wearing purple. It's lavender that I'm wearing today, and I forgot to take my sunglasses off. How's that? That's for the entire segment. I wasn't trying to be cool, guys, I promise. But you are cool, so that's just the way it is. Bryce Wylde.